Well, thank you, Kezia, for that. I think you have reminded all of us that an education is a journey shared by our friends and our families who have helped make it possible and provided those support. And it's a little scary for everyone. Of course, many people in our graduating class today have come from backgrounds from around the world and the region, very different backgrounds. And so it is scary to get onto a plane and come to a place like Canberra, whether or not you're from Sydney or from any place else in the world. But hopefully it's a place where you genuinely learn new things and new ways of thinking, and probably even more importantly, meeting new people from different backgrounds to make sure you have an understanding of all that is happening in the world and all that is possible in the world. Kezia, I noticed that you seem to learn from your initial transgressions on Australian, using words like uni and adapting to the culture very well, and I'm sure that will serve you well as well. And I'm sure you complained about the cold this morning. So let's thank Kezia Kortika one more time. Our speaker this morning is one of our distinguished alumni, Mr. Harry Hoang. Harry Hoang is an accomplished accountant and business owner based in Canberra. After completing his studies in accounting and economics at the ANU, he founded Tailored Accountants in 2009 and found significant success. Harry's work focuses on working with corporate and non-profit clients to meet their financial goals using strategic analysis and cutting-edge technology. Harry's achievements in the industry have been recognized with many recent accolades, such as 2018 Australian Accounting Award winner in the CEO of the Year category, 2017 Institute of Public Accountants ACT Member of the Year, and the 2016 Telstra Business Awards ACT finalist. His experience includes mentoring at Innovation ACT and the Griffin Accelerator Program since 2015. He is also organizer of Accountant Change, a training seminar for local and international students to discover the latest trends in the financial industry. Harry holds a Master of Accounting degree from ANU. He is currently a member of the IPA, CPA, and Australian Institute of Company Directors. Pro-Chancellor, I have much pleasure in inviting Mr. Hoang to address the congregation.
Thank you very much. Vice-Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, ANU communities, fellow graduates, and families. I would like to start my speech by paying respect to the Rangawan people, the traditional owner of the land where we meet today, to the past, present, and future. Well, congratulations to all the graduates. You must be very proud. You have just graduated from one of the best universities in the world. I'd like to reflect my time 10 years ago. I believe that my wife is somewhere here. We both studied at ANU. We came to Australia in 2005 from Vietnam. We did a Bachelor of Economics and Master of Accounting. There's a lot of experience, good experience, especially staying in campus. Fan Hall is the first place that we stay. Catching the bus every day to uni, early mornings. Sometimes stay really late in library because, trying to finish the assignments or exams. And luckily we found that there was a special bus called a Brian bus, which always there to take us back to the campus safely. Our whole experience in ANU was, studying hard, work hard, and play hard as well, as many of you would be. So I'd like to share a little stories. In 2006, I think, close to graduation, myself, my wife, which was my girlfriend back then, two friends, ANU friends, we decided to do something crazy. So at that night, we decided that we want to explore all the pub in Civic in one night. And we did it. We did it. I wouldn't have that energy with the two little kids running around chasing us to try to do it again. But really, in the last 13 years in Australia, I would say 3 years in uni was still the best part of my life. I mean, coming from an international student background, and I guess there's many of you coming from the same background here, the biggest challenge for all of us back then was always English was the second language for all of us. I got the offer from ANU back in 2004, and my wife too. We was really happy. But then we realized that there's one more challenge, which is the English test, IELTS test. Unfortunately, I failed the IELTS test twice. I couldn't get 6 back then. So you know how poor my English was. My wife, on the other hand, she passed, we got 6, and she decided to go before me. So pressure on, I got around 6 months before the offer expired. And a few days before the third attempt, I went home and my dad said to me, "Harry, this is the last one." So really what he meant is if you don't pass, then forget about going overseas and studying. Luckily I did pass, just 6, just enough. So poor English, no friends, just a girlfriend, enough. To keep me going, but we had a really good time at uni. Comparing with other local students, I think we would spend twice the amount of time reading the books. I think my son Charlie, 6 years old, can read 10 times faster than I was 10 years ago. So a lot of challenge on the way, finishing uni, finding the first job, and this is probably the question that a lot of you today would ask: where do I find the first jobs? And got a first job, started the business a few months after graduation. Was a bit crazy as well. 2012, 4 years after working full-time for someone, I decided to quit the job and work for myself full-time. Since 2012 until today, we grow the business, into different cities, having more and more staff. Today we got over 20 staff working with us, and many of them coming from the ANU community. So with all that challenge, I think today is all about you, so I'd like to share 3 tips with you, and hopefully that would help you a bit when you start your career. Number 1, I think you've got to be confident to start with. International students, poor English, no financials after graduations, just myself and my wife. We bought the first home, was paying the mortgage 8% back then. All you need, confidence to start with. If I could do it back then, you should be able to do it 10 times better than us. However, to keep it confidence, I guess you got to work toward it. You got to work to earn that confidence and keep that confidence level up. I knew back then my English was terrible. That's why I worked really hard to improve my English. That's why I was in business, because I want to go out every single day and talk to people. If my public speaking is one of my weaknesses, I would find any opportunity to get up and talk. Tip number 2, you're probably familiar with this one: hardworking. I guess in the last few years, myself, the company, we won a few awards. Every time we won something, friends, colleagues, the customer came and they say, "Yeah, congratulations, Harry, hard working does pay off." Those are the sentences that always came after this sort of event. I guess it's kind of confirming and questioning to Harry, is there any other secret than hard working? I guess there's a million definitions of hard working out there, but for me, I'd like to share another story around hard working and what it is in my own definitions. When I was a student, and my wife too, we tend to go and find part-time work in the summer schools, especially in the farm. So I and my wife decided that we would go off to the farm for 3 months and do fruit pickings. It was hard work, but not just that. One day, I still remember where I was picking cherry, and there's a lady, owner of the farm, who driving a scooter to get over and try to pick up my basket of cherries. And she looked up the tab, the name tab, tried to pronounce my name. You know, first time, Hu Hui, and my Vietnamese name was Hiu Hui, and I said to her, no, it's Hiu Hui. So she tried a second time, Hu Hui, and I said, no, it's not right. And then she said, whatever. And I said, I just joked to her, my name can't be whatever. And then it took her a few seconds, and then she said to me, how about I call you Harry? So I kind of like the name, but still you want to tease her a bit. So where's that Harry come from? And she said, because I watch you working, you're always in a hurry. You're always running to the basket, pick up the baskets as quick as you can, finish your work. So that's where the name Harry come from. I didn't pick that name. It was given by someone. And I guess where that hardworking really to that name come from is really, to me, hardworking come from here. It comes from the attitudes. And this is what I've been talking again and again to my staff at the office as well. When you come to work, you got to feel that you want to open that door, you want to have that fire in your hands, you want to rush in, open the computer and start working. It starts with attitude. So last but not least, is my last tip of the day. I guess many of you have questions around how do I find the next job, what I'm going to do, what is my dream job. And with some of my staff, working with us for 5 years, came to me and say, Harry, I've been doing this for 5 years, what's next? Even myself, sometimes I question, where's next? And there's a moment where we got lost. We don't know where to do in the future. And then my response is always really, it doesn't matter what did you do or where did you do it, whether you stay in Vietnam or you come to Australia. It's really important, more important than the people who you work with. It's the people is important. We decided, myself, my wife and the family, decided to stay in Australia, build our business, a family with 2 kids, because we love the people. We love the people in the last 13 years that we built what we call trusted networks of our families. We love Australian people. We love this land. And there's many good friends in the last 10 years that I can name them. You're my neighbors, Neil and Barbara, my good friend David Hoang, who has retired, and he called me his Australian son, and many other good friends that I built. So whenever I got lost, I came over to talk to them. I see them as a mentor, I see them as friends, and I see them as my trusted network. So the last advice for all of you is really, it takes time to build trust, and it takes time to be a trustworthy person. But it is very important if you want to stay in this land and build your future like we did with our family. So finally, I'd just like to congratulations to all the graduates, especially to the families and parents. I think you get a full return on investment today. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Harry. I think you remind our graduates that just like you 9 years ago, when you graduated with a degree, that degree did not just tell you how to do accounting and economics. Rather, it allowed you to think about how to change how we do accounting here in Australia. And so I think Harry has really on a voyage to overturn how things are actually practiced. And like many of you, he has had challenges along the way, as he understated in his talk with you. And all of you can take on that many of you have had challenges. And those of you who have not yet have challenges will almost certainly have challenges. But I think Harry should give you reason to believe that you will get through those challenges. As he said, you have to have confidence. And you have every reason to have confidence to get through those challenging times. And he emphasizes that you need to work and work out of your passion. But also take time to enjoy your friends and family who are going to be the people who trust you and you are going to trust. And so, Harry, thank you so much. I'm not sure the wisdom, having met your wife last night, of calling her just a girlfriend, but that's my one piece of advice to you. But let's thank Harry Hoang for his inspirational speech.